wanted to explain fiduciary duty. If your agent hasn't already explained this to you, I would be shocked if they're with our agency. On your first visit, you should have a copy of what's called a real estate agency disclosure and election form. That explains the fiduciary duty. The easiest way to remember it is we're in Arizona, so think of cold air conditioning, cold AC. And that acronym stands for confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, disclosure, accounting, and then the last C is reasonable care, so care. And that may sound like all nice and fluffy and everything, but what does that really mean? So let's look at it. Confidentiality. If you are, let's say you're a physician and you want to buy a home and we're negotiating on it pretty hard, the last thing I want to do is tell the other party, well, they're physicians. Because the perception of a physician is they make a lot of money, and that could hurt your position in negotiating. That would be one situation. There's a multitude of others. Maybe you're getting a divorce. Maybe you've lost a family member and you really need to sell your home. That isn't something that we need to share with the other party unless it is going to be what we call material to the transaction. In other words, if you can't perform because of that, then we would need to disclose it. But otherwise, we don't. So confidentiality is a huge piece in real estate. And, you know, trust is often earned, but we're asking for you to trust us with the confidentiality of your transaction. Obedience. So we consider ourselves to be very fiduciary agents and not transactional. And the difference is a transactional agent just gives you the paperwork and they push the paperwork around and they do the transaction. They manage the transaction all the way through to closing. That is what the majority of agents out there are. They're transactional. Nothing wrong with that. However, fiduciary takes it to a much deeper level. Our agents are not just real estate agents, they are fiduciary agents. And that means they're going to explain everything every step of the way. So we've got confidentiality, obedience, loyalty. Our loyalty, I think I forgot obedience. So obedient, we're going to be obedient to what you say, but we really pride ourselves on guiding you through the process. So, you know, I'll say, well, we can do that. I recommend we do this. Or we could do it this way and this could happen, and we're going to take you down the path all the way to, if we go down this path, we could end up here. If we go down this path, we end up here. Now, maybe you're one of those people that is just going to do it your way and you go rogue and you say, well, I want to go down this path. At the end of the day, we're going to be obedient to that. We are also going to say, well, you can do that, and we've done that in the past, and this is what has happened. So you are in charge when it comes to the final say of something. Loyalty. Loyalty means we work with the other realtor. We work very closely with them and we cooperate. Anything that has to do with anything that is going to harm you or not be in your best interest is not going to be shared with the other realtor. Our loyalties are always to you. You will see us working closely with the other realtor for either the buyer or the seller on the other side, depending on if you're buying or selling. And we ask that you understand our loyalty is always to you. Disclosure. In Arizona, there's a few things that do not have to be disclosed. And one of them is if there's been a death in the home, whether it's a suicide, homicide, or natural death, any crime that's been classified as a felony does not have to be disclosed. So make sure you get with your realtor and, you know, have them go over the things in Arizona that the seller or the seller's agent do not have to disclose. If we know, we're going to disclose everything we know. We also have an obligation to do that, whether it's the house, the neighborhood, what's going on, if they're putting a sewer plant across the street from this home that you're getting ready to buy. Those are all things we're obligated to disclose to you, and we're happy to do that. Let's see, where are we? Confidentiality, obedience, loyalty, disclosure, accounting. Accounting means we're going to be doing all the paperwork. We all have a broker file and we upload those within so many days. Within 10 days, everything has to be reviewed by me. So the agents have to have that uploaded in a certain amount of time within, prior to that 10 days. And then we have that available to ADRE for their review and auditing at any time. All of the paperwork is accounted for, and we have a very good system to do that. So your accounting is in really good hands. At the end of your transaction, you will get a flash drive with all your documents on it so that you will have that for safekeeping, and also at the end of the year so that you can have it for your tax, your accountant. The other thing is care, reasonable care. This means we're going to be returning phone calls. We're going to be returning text messages and emails and doing the things that we need to do to answer your questions and give you a reasonable care. Excuse me. Reasonable care is going to be, taking care of your questions and make sure they're answered. And if any of our agents do not respond in 24 hours, you have full permission to call me directly. My number is 480-577-8272. My name is Michelle Shelton. I'm the designated broker. All of our agents are very skilled and very good at returning phone calls and emails and answering those questions. So I don't anticipate that you will ever have to call me. Your agent should never be out of pocket for 24 hours or more without having someone else cover their business. And that's just one of the rules that we have and how we operate. Well, that's the fiduciary duty, and your agent can explain it further to you if you have questions. But those are the main things that we want you to understand. That's what you're getting into, and that's what you're getting. You're going to be getting a care at a much, much higher level than just someone throwing your home on the MLS and managing the paperwork. Because really, at the end of the day, a realtor doesn't really sell a house. The house can sell itself. What the realtor does is they cover your butt. They make sure legally that they are doing risk management and guiding you through that so that you can make the decisions, not them. If you have any questions, again, call your realtor that you're working with, and we look forward to taking you through this process step by step. Okay? Take care.